Hi everyone, I hope you all. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Bitcoin once again. Thank you for support. Okay, big up the CoinsKid crew. So, right now I'm just going to show you a couple of things straight off the bat. I think that you've got a looming death cross, which is going to signify the bottom here, okay, of this indicator. I've been messing with the charts and I found a beautiful little EMA, the 20 EMA, which you know are using my charts, and the 55. You've got your death cross there. Okay, we've got a death cross there. We've got a death cross there, and you can see pretty much after these death crosses, we do usually put in a bit of a bottom, basically. Okay, and right now I do think the bottom's loading here for Bitcoin. I'm giving more stance to a bottom than something like this. Okay, rolling into a prolonged bear market here. I think that your correction is nearing completion, and you're looking at the end of this C leg coming in. Straight off the bat, I could tell you effectively what I think you might be looking at here is something like the end of the completion of wave A, because I think that what we've got here is an ABC. So we've got this A, B, C leg down, okay, and I'm looking for the low on C, sorry. And I think that what you're doing right now, this leg down is a third impulsive move, just like this was a wave 3. Then you came back up in a 4, and then you had that final leg down, which is a 5, a simple push down, okay. And you can see in the middle there, June last year, we actually put in that lower low, where we came back up, made a higher low. Everyone got really bullish down here. We got bearish, sorry. We got a bit of a short squeeze on the go, and then we broke out to the upside, you know. And then all of you know what happened from there. You know, and at that point we put in this B leg, a high basically, and we've come down this C leg, and I'm looking for the end of this C leg, okay, this corrective wave down, and I think it's nearing completion, you know, and I'm going to show you some confluence as to that, why I think it is, okay, and it's not bullshit, it's not opium. Like I said to you, I've been trying to find the low for you, I've been trying to find this low for you all the way down here, you know, and I can give you figures and things like that straight off the bat. You know, the monthly 55 EMA, because you've lost the monthly 20, like I've always said to you, historically whenever you lose a 20, you find support on the 55, and you have done that. You've not necessarily done it so far, and like I said to you, if you was to start to turn that into resistance, that would be extremely negative for Bitcoin, and I would sincerely think about your position in crypto, because to me that is showing that this is some kind of, you know, blow off top, and we've got some kind of double top here, and we could essentially be rolling into like a multi-year bear market at this point if we start to do that. We're not doing it yet, okay, so that's in front of us obviously, because anything's possible. This is crypto, but what I'm looking at right now on the weekly time frame is for the support to kick in. So this green line here is the 200 week moving average, which everybody is screaming about as support, okay, support. You know, every time Bitcoin's had massive corrections, it's always been support, okay. Look at that ascending level of support right there on a 200 week moving average. So everyone is expecting that, and granted it can happen, you know, if we come up here and we have this one last rug pull down there on a 200 week moving average, fantastic. That currently sits at, let's take a look at that, 22185, okay. So if it does get drastic and we do start to sort of capitulate down here and roll, then yeah, I would imagine that's a key level of support, but I don't necessarily think we're going to go as deep as that, okay. And I think people are going to be putting bids down there that might not necessarily get met, and I'm going to show you why, because I do think that the 55 EMA is coming in for the retest, and that's your support, okay. But again, nothing I say is financial advice. I think that that's where you're going to get fruitful on some of your bids on Bitcoin, and it's currently sitting at 24881, and I'm going to show you why, because I think that what we're going through, okay, and again, no crystal ball, but this is the C leg nearing its completion. I think what we've got is this slightly upside, and then we're going to get a little dump back down to this level, create a bit of a smaller lower low, obviously, and that's your low of your C leg. And at that point, you start to come up, make a high low, and then you're gone ski. And I think that what you're doing is you're mirroring this C leg, okay, this A leg where you completed it. So you've got your capitulation volume on the weekly time frame. If I drop the volume in, you can see, look, your capitulation volume on that uptick just there. Then you came up into resistance and you created a lower low, okay, and at that point you created a high low and got out of there. So I think that you're matching this C leg. I think this is a wave 3, 4, 5, okay, of an impulsive move down, and then from there I think that this is your 3. I think that you're coming up in a 4, and you're going to have a little rug pull 5 down. Sometime this month will be amazing, and it's sort of copying this level of you know, price action just there, because on the volume here, if we take a look, you can see you've got that matched volume on the capitulation here, which is essentially there, and right now you're rallying, then a drop, you're rallying, then a drop, okay. At that point, that would be your low, and I do think at that point what you're going to do here for Bitcoin, and again, not got a crystal ball, you're going to create this death cross just here. Do you see this 20 EMA? Okay, I've been playing with the EMAs and the moving averages. This 20 EMA just there is going to cross this blue line, which is the 100 week moving average. I've dropped it into your charts, okay, 100 week moving average, and I think at that point you're going to create the death cross. Now historically, whenever I've seen that on the charts, I'm going to show you, 1 week to 2 weeks later, Bitcoin has actually bottomed. So you can see we're really, really close to this death cross at the moment, where the yellow line crosses the blue line. The 20 EMA on the weekly time frame crosses the 100-week moving average just there. Okay, so I'm going to show you where it's done it before and where Bitcoin has actually bottomed. So you can see just here, if I drop a vertical line in, you can see that that is when Bitcoin just bottomed just there. Okay, so let me drop a vertical line in, Alt V on your keyboard. You can see that we got the death cross on the 20 and the 100. 1 week later, boom, bottom on Bitcoin on the 200-week moving average. Move to the left, and you can see just here we got the death cross just there. Let me drop a vertical line in just there. We got death cross on the 20-week moving average. Move it over a little bit, I do apologize. Just there's your death cross. We got a death cross on the 20-week moving average and the 20-week EMA, and the 200-week 100-week moving average. Sorry, I'm a bit tired this morning, I do apologise. So yeah, your death cross 1 week later bottomed on the 200-week moving average. Job done. Okay, fantastic. And from there we started to come upstairs. So, you know, for me as well, accompanied with that, let's take a look at this for Bitcoin, the RSI. So if we take a look at the RSI, you can see oversold on the weekly, oversold on the weekly, and right now you're at this level, almost oversold on the weekly. Now, does it have to happen? Of course not. Bitcoin can break up here and we don't do any of this. You know, we don't do any of this or create the death cross and we repel it and we get like a slingshot up. There's no guarantees, you know, and this might be the bottom. Who knows? But I'm trying to find the bottom for you. And at the minute, there's you know, a couple of confluencing factors that could actually be the bottom right now for Bitcoin. So where do I think, you know, you'll be fruitful putting bids in and the bottom of Bitcoin could actually be? You know, obviously we can fall through this line, we can come down and keep doing that, and if we do, that's really, really negative. I don't necessarily want to see that for Bitcoin. So for me, there's a couple of levels here that I'm going to show you. One is, I'll show you right now, just this. So I think that this is an ABC correction. I'm going to use a trend-based fib extension, sorry, from there to there. That's your A leg down, in my opinion. That's your B leg, and you're looking at 1272, which is around about 24925. I think that could be your low just there, and it's sort of lower low like this last year that we put in. You see this low here that in May, then we put the actual lower low in June, pretty much like we did here. We put a low in May, we're coming back up, potential lower low in June, creating a death cross, and from there, higher low, boom, up we go. But again, no guarantees, okay, and that would be an amazing entry point, and equally, that marries up with a 55 monthly EMA, which has always been my target since you lost the 20. Like I said the whole way down here, if you start to close below 20, which you did, your target would be the 55, okay, and that looks to hold. But anyway, there's no guarantees in anything I say. It's technical analysis, okay, it's all about support and resistance. I've taught you that this much, okay, but what I think that what we might be looking at going forward for Bitcoin is an impulsive move to the upside, and like I've said to you so many times, I would expect to see an impulsive move when you're down here, just like this was an impulsive move, just like this was an impulsive move. You know, down here you would expect to see an impulsive move. Do you understand? I would not necessarily expect to see a continuation of impulsive move when you're up here, and that's what I said to you. You overbought. You know, you're looking at a correction, and you did get that. You came down to these beautiful levels. You're looking at some impulsive move, but you got rejected. And for me, you know, if you take a look at the RSI, you've equally got an ABC correction in there as well. So I do think that the correction's nearing completion, okay, and you've got the ABC correction there, wave 4 correction, and I think that what you've got in front of you is this 1, 2, 3, this is a 4, nearing completion, and you got your 5, and you got your mania, you blow off top there, this cycle for Bitcoin, where after that you're going into a multi-year bear market, you know, and that's just something I'm looking at until I'm not. So yeah, that's basically Bitcoin. But one thing I want to show you as well, because on every single comment I see, you know, we're in a recession, there's war, rising prices, inflation, interest rates, and all this kind of stuff, right? Let me show you something. So I don't see anyone else talking about this, but I like to use Google Trends because I like to see what people are interested in. For example, Bitcoin, you know, Chainlink XRP. I like to look for those search terms, you know, in correlation to when people are not necessarily interested in certain things or they're losing interest, you know. And you can see it, the YouTube channels across the board, that they're losing interest and things like that. That's always a good sign if you want to accumulate or enter crypto. It's always good when people are not interested because, like I said to you, blood, fear is where you enter. You know, millionaires are made in corrections and bear markets, basically. So right now I'm looking at the keyword recession, which is, you know, constantly in the comments here on the channels and on Twitter. People are convinced we're heading into a recession or, you know, doom and gloom, financial capitulation and things like that. You can see that this ramp up here has been all about people being interested in recession and Googling it and things like that, and you can see right now potentially the bubble has popped in the recession search term, and everyone's not feeling like we're heading into a recession anymore. Okay, and you can see it's starting to turn a corner since we sort of bottomed out in May, basically. I mean, look at that. Okay, since May we've been sort of coming down, and people are losing interest, less and less search volume for recession. So if anything, people that think we're in a recession are now starting to lose interest in that. And the fact is, I've always said to you, herd mentality. Okay, as this was going up, people were getting really scared, and you're forming a bottom. Do you understand that? But again, nothing I say is financial advice. Take care, everyone. Back to another update on Bitcoin. Stay healthy, stay tuned. Bye bye.